certificate of attendance, certificate of participation. So kindly enter your email IDs in the chat box. That will help me to keep a track and send the certificate. All right, so we have 5 participants. Some of them joined and unjoined, probably network issues. But still, I'm going to start the session. Okay. So unlike yesterday, I'm actually presenting my screen not from slides but directly from Jamboard. Now, if you're worrying what is this and how do I access it, just like the other 2 workshops, you're going to start from scratch and then start building activities or start using Jamboard. Okay, so let me introduce Jamboard to you. Jamboard is a whiteboarding app. Now let me weave a story or let me give you a small flashback. So earlier in when schooling started or when the brick and mortar schooling started, uh, they didn't really have the concept of blackboard. They had something like wooden boards where each student would have a wooden slate or wooden block with them, or what do I say, slate with them, and this teacher had to, that this I'm talking about 1800s. Okay, this is somewhere back in 1800s where teacher had to come and write the problem in each slate. They didn't have the concept of hanging the board on the wall because they probably didn't have walls or they didn't have proper infrastructure. So students would come with a wooden slate or wooden slab which would be painted with black or which would be just in a dark color, and they would write in it. So the teacher had to roam around the class and give the problems to each student, problem or assignment, whatever it is, they had to write there. Now, one of the teachers, I don't remember the name, but one of them in England thought that okay, this is very time consuming and tedious, so let's, why not hang a whiteboard? If there is a wall in the classroom, why not hang a blackboard? So they hung a blackboard, and then slowly it started evolving. What happened is, from individual slates it moved on to a big board that was hung, then it was mounted onto the wall, like the, if you are a 90s kid or an 80s kid, you might be knowing this. The blackboard would be actually engraved or actually mounted on the wall. So that was the system, and then we slowly moved on to whiteboards, green boards, what do we say, this dry erase marker boards. And now, thanks to pandemic, we all have moved to online, and for teachers who require a board, they have switched to smart boards. And there are a lot of smart boards over the internet, in the market, which have paid versions and free versions as well. So Jamboard is one such product given by Google. It also has a physical smart board as well. So some schools in the abroad also, and companies abroad also use Jamboard, which is a physical version which has a smart board, a 55 or 50-inch big smart board which can take in your screen. That is, you can share your screen, that is cast your screen, and you can actually doodle or annotate on it. Now, the online version is this that I am using, Jamboard. Okay, so this has white pages which can be altered, where backgrounds can be added, multimedia can be added, a lot of things can be done on Jamboard. So that's a small introduction of Google Jamboard. It's a smart board basically, which can be used in different ways, which also can be used creatively. So that's what we are going to explore in today's workshop. So let me run through the objectives. First objective is to see what is Jamboard, which I have just explained. Next, we'll see how to access it and what are the features inside it. The next thing would be applications. I have around 10 activities for various subjects, starting from computers, maths, social, and languages. So I have prepared some activities. So you can look at the activities, get some inspiration or get some ideas, and create your own activities. Again, Jamboard is free. You will need not sign up, so no extra signups are required. All you have to do is have your Gmail ID. With your Gmail ID, you will be able to access this Jamboard. Okay, so I hope everybody has a little bit idea now about Jamboard. You can type in the chat box yes or no or raise your hand. That's basically about Jamboard. And as the name says, Jamboard, that means Again, just like forms, docs, Google sites, you can also add collaborators. So you can actually have group activities as well. People can jam on it. That is, you can do some brainstorming, you can do some group activities. These things can also be done using Jamboard. All right. So most of you have answered positively. So you have a little bit of idea now on Jamboard. So let's start with the technical aspect of it. So let me repeat for those of you who have just joined. We'll see what is Jamboard, how to access it, what are the features, and then applications. And towards the end, I will roll out the certificates. That is, I'll have to get your email IDs and then I'll roll out the certificates. All right, good to go. Can you all give me a hand? You can raise your hand if you're all ready for the technical part of it. Okay, Rashmi ma'am, Deepali ma'am, Natasha ma'am. I hope others are also ready. All right. So let me give you a quick run through. So this is Jamboard and these are the activities that I have created. Some sorting activities, story builder activities. These are reviewing sheets, label the parts. Now you can see actually this was a whiteboard, a plain whiteboard where I have turned it into activity where I can give it as a worksheet, I can give it as a summary activity or a end of the lesson plenary activity. These things can be done. So let me also tell you the subjects that I am doing here. So this is science, chemistry. In English, I have tried story builders. Again, this can be used by any subject. Next is reviewing. It can be used by any subject. Labeling can be used by any subject. Here I've taken computers. Map marking again can be used by social, history, and geography, all of those. Literature as well. Summarizing can be done by any subject. Problem solving probably for maths, physics, chemistry, or any economics, any subject. Voting or polling for classroom interactions, for icebreakers, for team building. So if you are a leader, school leader, you can also conduct, uh, you know, team building activities and icebreakers using Jamboard. Letter tracing. If you are a pre-primary teacher or a primary teacher who's trying to tell them about handwriting or how to write. Now, how many of you or I know you might be not in pre-primary, but you can imagine this. Students are joining school and this is their experience of school. They don't know what is the physical school because of pandemic. They might be starting off with online school. Now, how would a teacher actually tell them to write? She can't actually write and show it using her laptop. She will need a physical another camera which has to be mounted and placed in such a way that she writes and they will be able to see. But otherwise it is really difficult. She'll have to just give instructions saying open your notebook, children, draw a slanting line. So instead teacher can actually trace in front of them and they can follow. So letter tracing, plotting graphs, again this can be used by math or economics. Another thing is showcasing note taking. Now this thing is different from this activity because here the teacher here the teacher is showcasing how to do the notes or how to write their notes, whereas here this can be given as homework and students can actually trace with their fingers. If they have a mobile or a tab, they can install Jamboard app and they can actually trace along with their fingers and they'll be able to recognize letters better. So these are few activities that I have. Now you will be able to understand these activities only if you know what are the features inside Jamboard and how did I do this. You will be able to understand how did I get this pink block, how did I get these pictures. You will be able to know only when you know the features, right? So we'll be exploring the features. So that's a quick introduction of or quick agenda of this workshop. So yes, now what I'll be doing is I'll be sharing my entire screen so that I can see how I am doing this step by step. So clear, is everybody having a fair bit of idea of what is Jamboard and what can be done with it? So I have just shown you a few examples of activities that I have created on Jamboard. We'll start with a blank Jamboard, don't worry, but these are like, examples, use cases. Okay. All right. So Jamboard again is a Google product. Now let's see if you remember how to find out the URL of a Google application. So I have given yesterday and the day before yesterday, I have given a shortcut. So can anybody type it in the chat box? Let's see if you have to open an app, there's a format. So let's see if anybody remembers that. Yes, product.google.com. Very good. Anju ma'am and Natasha ma'am have given the answer. Appname.google.com or product.google.com. Whichever app you want to open or whichever product you want to open, you just have to type that name. Jamboard.google.com. So if you remember, yesterday we typed sites.google.com and the day before we typed forms.google.com. So today we'll be typing jamboard.google.com. Okay, there's another way. There's another way. What is the other way? Can you tell me which icon should I click in the chat box? What is the other way? So let's say somebody doesn't remember this product name.google.com format. What is the other way? Waffle. Yes. The newbies might be thinking, what are they saying? Why are they remembering a waffle now? So basically, waffle icon is these 9 dots that you see on the top right corner. Okay, they call it waffle because it looks like a waffle. It has 9 dots here. So when you click on this 9 dots, so you have to just open a Google Chrome app, sorry, Google Chrome tab. You know, the first page that you see whenever you open Google Chrome, open this blank tab, click on these 9 dots. This is called as the waffle icon because it looks like a waffle. So you have to click on this waffle icon, scroll down, and you'll find Jamboard. So again, how to find Jamboard? It will be written as Jamboard. If not, you will see a yellow J. Okay, J for Jamboard. You can click on it and that will help you and it will take you to the Jamboard homepage. I think somebody's not on mute. Okay, so that's how you go to Jamboard. Now it looks similar to the other apps as well, right? So first you have the search box which will help you search your files. Next you will find recent jams. That is whatever jams you have been using, you will find all those jams. Now files in Jamboard are called as jams. Okay, don't worry. This is a small terminology that I'm using. The files in Jamboard. So Jamboard is the app and whatever you save in Jamboard is called as a jam. This is a jam. This is a jam. So I have so many jams here. So to find my recent jams, I'll just have to scroll down or just type the name of the jam here. Okay, that's about the home page. It's pretty simple. Search box and jams. That's all. And you also have options to sort it. Sort, filter according to alphabets and all of these things. Now to create a blank, is everybody clear on how to access Jamboard? You can raise your hand. If not, you can also type it in the chat box. Okay, great. All right. Great. So that's how you access your Jamboard. Now let's see how to create a blank jam. So since most of you haven't used Jamboard, all of these will be empty. You'll just have a search box and this center part would be empty for you because you haven't used any jams yet or you haven't created any jams yet. So to create a new jam, come to the bottom right. Okay, bottom right, colorful plus icon. Same colorful plus icon was used for Google Forms and Google Sites. If you remember, the same colorful plus icon was used in the previous apps as well. So you just click on this colorful plus icon and this is going to create a blank jam. So you can see this is an untitled jam and it's all blank. Here you will give a name. First step is always to rename the jam. Initially it will give you as untitled jam. If you leave it like that, it will be saved with that name. So make sure you give a name that you remember. So I'm just giving 28th October. Okay, this is the file name. This is the jam name. So this is how your new jam is going to look like. Now we'll be seeing all the buttons that are present in our jam. So first thing is this is the rename box or the file name box. When you click on it, you have an option to enter the name for the jam. You can also change it by just clicking on it. Okay. So if I want to make it as 28th October, I'll just click there and start typing the name and click on enter. It's going to get saved. So this is the name of the file. Next, On the top, in the center, we have 1 by 1. Okay, this means this is a frame. In a jam, you get this white page. This is called as a frame. So let me write, this is a frame. Okay. So I want you all to listen carefully. Like always, I'm going to ask questions and I'll see who's going to answer in the chat box. This white page is called as a frame. And how will you count page number 1, page number 2, or frame number 1, frame number 2? It's written on the top. This is 1 by 1. This is 2 by 2, 3 by 3. This is the third frame, fourth frame, fifth frame, sixth frame. Like this, you can go up to 20 frames. Okay. In each jam, you will have up to 20 frames. So 20 white pages. You can think of it like you have 100 pages notebook, 200 pages notebook, 50 pages notebook, right? Notepads. So this is a 20 frames jam. It will have 20 frames. Total how many frames? 20. You can create up to 20 frames. And how to find out the frame number? Just look at the top. This is 2, this is 3, this is fourth frame, fifth frame, like this. You can scroll and you can check the frames. Okay. First thing is rename. The next one is frame number. The next thing is presenting. So if there is a Google Meet going on, you can also present it. Let's say I'm a maths teacher or I'm an English teacher and I'm talking about spellings or I'm talking about numbers. I can actually write, like I'm showing it to you. You can show it to your students as well. And I feel, no, I'm not sure for others, but the highlighter in Jam has a good grip and it gives you good handwriting. Usually when you type, or sorry, when you scribble using mouse, the handwriting might not be legible or might not look really good. So for me, highlighter in Jam works pretty well. So like this, you can write. So if I am talking about spellings, I can write and show it to my students. Okay. All right. So this thing can be presented. Now, how will you show it? You will have to present. You can click on present tab, or from Google Meet or Zoom or Skype, you can click on present screen and choose this tab. Okay, that's how you present. The next thing is more actions. More actions will help you do some secondary activities. Okay, before that, I feel that there's slight disturbance. Let me check if anybody is not on mute. Okay. Is my voice fine? Can you please type yes or no in the chat box? Is my voice clear? Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's get to the more actions. Let's check what are the more actions. In this more actions, you will be able to rename the file, the same thing that you were able to do from this, from the left side. Next is download as PDF. Now imagine you're a math teacher or you're a science teacher, you have explained something, or you're an English teacher and you have done some grammar act, whatever it is, you have done some activities on Jamboard, you can actually download them as PDF and share it over email or anywhere on Google Drive, wherever you want, you can share it as a PDF. So all the frames, wherever and whatever you have written here in this particular 28th October Jam, in these 20 frames, whatever you have written, all of it will be downloaded as a PDF. Okay, this PDF can be shared anywhere. So let me show you how it works. Download as PDF. Automatically, you will see that it will get downloaded here. It'll take 2 or 3 seconds. Yes, you can see here, 28th October, it has got downloaded. When I click on it, it'll open all the pages. Now you can see the last pages are all empty. Okay, I have a solution for that as well. So I have used only first 3 frames. If I want to download it as PDF, everything will be downloaded. Now what to do? So one option is, if you have used all the pages or whatever frames are there, if you have used those frames, you can download it as a PDF. If not, you can save frame as image. So if I want only this part, 2 plus 3 equals to 5, I can save it as an image. What will happen is, it will download it as an image and this image can be shared with students. Now, why am I telling this? Because you as teachers, when you're using Jamboard, you can use it for presenting your knowledge, that is presenting the lesson content, do an activity, or students can actually do something in the class when you share this link. Now to save it, you can save it as an image or a PDF, depending upon how much you are using the Jam. So if all the pages are filled in, you can download it directly as PDF. If not, you can save it as an image. Okay. The next thing is remove. Remove is going to delete the jam completely. Next thing is make a copy. Now this is an interesting thing. This is present in all of the editors in Google Tools. That is in Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Forms, Google Sites, and Jamboard. So in all of these tools, you can make a copy. So if I want to have one more copy of this, let's say I'm sharing one copy with my students, and I want master copy as well, so that even if my students delete it or do something, I'll have my master copy with me. So what I can do is make a copy. Make a copy is basically like a virtual Xerox. You can think of it like this: virtual photocopy. Okay. It will be copy of 20th October. I can click on OK. What will happen is exact replica. Whatever is done in this one till here, it will be photocopied here. So you can see automatically all the things that I've done have come up. So even if I share this part with my students and my students delete it, mess it up, or do whatever, I will have my master copy here, safe. Okay, that's about making a copy. Next is get help, send feedback, see version history. Now get help and send feedback is when you're not able to use the app properly, or if some functionality is not working, you can send a feedback. Or if you want to know more about Jamboard, you can click on get help. You'll get some articles or you'll get some tour guide. So you can see can't edit a file, can't insert drawings. All of these help articles will show up. The next is see version history. Like somebody was asking yesterday in Google Sites, what if me and Natasha ma'am are doing something and Natasha ma'am by mistake deletes something, or by mistake does a wrong editing or adds some wrong picture. So I can just click on see version history. I will be able to see who all have made changes. So I can see Reshma Sultana 529, 528. So for each minute, you will be having time. You will be having a version. You can just choose that particular version and restore it whenever you want. So it is as relevant and as convenient as it looks like. So that's about more options. Is everyone clear with more options? I've given a walkthrough of more actions. So is everyone more actions, more options, whatever it is? I mean, anything would be the same. All you have to know is you have to click this 3 dots for the more action. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Great. So I'll come back to this share option at the end, because first we have to create something and then we'll have to think about sharing it with others, right? So we'll come back to this share button towards the end. Now, the next row. This is undo. We all know undo from Paint, right? Paint, Word. So undo will just remove your last action. Redo will again repeat it. Next thing is zoom. So you can see there is gray space here. If I don't want to waste it, or if my students are using mobile or tablet and they would like to see my writing or see my problems properly, that is my scribbling properly, I will zoom it in so that they'll be able to see it properly. Okay, this is zooming. Next is set background. Now, whatever I'm going to show from now on is where you can leverage. That is where you can use your creativity and use it in a innovative way. So let me clear this frame. Clear frame is going to erase everything. Okay. So I had scribbled 20 frames, all of this, right? If I click on clear frame, it's going to clear this particular frame, first frame. Now, set background. So I'm sure first day your students will like it because ma'am is using some new tool. She's letting us write. She's also writing. So they'll be eager to see what is happening. Later, this plain white background would be boring for you as well as for your students. Also, you would want to play with colors, with pictures and stuff. So you have option to change the background, not just like a whiteboard. It can be dotted. So let me zoom it in so that you can see. You can use dots. Again, this dots is also used by digital doodlers and digital artists because it gives them the it gives them the area, and it gives them the precision or estimation of how to draw their curves and all of that. Next is single rules. So if I am dealing with, let's say, grade 1, 2, 3, or 4, and I have to tell them write in their notes, I can tell them open your single ruled notebook, and if somebody asks what is that, I can just choose this background and I can actually write here and show it to them. So let me choose another pen. And I can actually tell them how to write their alphabets, how to write their heading. So this is your heading, underline it. Instead of you repeating it 100 times, not 100, probably 10 times for each student saying that, okay, underline it like this and write write one in the margin like this and write your questions here. So you're actually demonstrating and it's going to be slightly easier than it is usual. So that's one thing. The other thing is checkered. So this is again another background. This is gray, blue, black. They have some colors if you would like to play with colors. Another interesting things. These are default ones that Google has given. You can also choose your own background as well. So let's say I am teaching my students about a forest. Okay, or I'm an English teacher and I have forest. I have a poem about forest, or I'm a science teacher or a geography teacher and I'm talking about forest. So I'll click on this plus icon. So set background, click on this plus icon. I can either upload it from my computer or I can do a direct Google image search. I always go with this because I don't have to download, upload. It's cutting down a lot of extra steps. So I'll just click on forest. I'll choose one which is suiting the best. And whenever you're choosing a background, make sure you're choosing a horizontal picture, not a vertical one. Landscape mode. So let's say this one is clear. I will choose as set frame background. Now what it's going to do is it's going to replace the background. Okay, let me keep it in fit. So this is my background now. And here I can do writing, whatever I want, I can do here. Or if I want to add some pictures or do whatever I want, I can do it on this background. In the same way, let's say I want a color. Let's say purple. Purple background. I can choose this purple color and set as frame background. So that's how you can play with the backgrounds. But make sure whenever you are choosing a picture, it should be horizontal. Since I chose a square picture, there are some white spaces. Okay. So that's about setting background. Next one is clear frame. So clear frame actually clears everything. If I have added anything, okay, I'm adding sticky notes, whatever I'm doing. So let's say I'll add some shapes also. Okay, if I want to clear off everything, instead of taking an eraser and erasing this, then selecting this and deleting it, instead of doing all of that, I can clear everything in a single go. I'll just click on clear frame. Everything will be cleared except for the background. This is clear frame. So is everybody clear with the second row? Yes, I've explained the second row. I've just explained. Where is it? Yes. Undo, redo, zoom, set background, clear frame. Is everyone clear with these buttons? Any doubts, you can unmute. Since this is a small group training, you can unmute and let me know. Any doubts? All right. The next one is open on a Jamboard. As I told you, there is also a physical version of Jamboard, which companies use. So let me give you an example, or let me give you an idea. Jamboard images. So I'm showing you about the physical Jamboard. So you can see here, this person she's actually writing on a board. So there's some picture here, and based on that, she's writing something. So this one is a physical Jamboard. You can also see here. So actually, this is on a PPT. This guy is presenting it here, and this woman, she can actually scribble on it. Okay, that's how a Jamboard can be used, like a digital smartboard. So if your school has it, you can directly connect it using by clicking on open on a Jamboard. But right now, most of us don't have it, or all of us don't have it. So we can skip this button. So first row, second row, done. Next is our toolbox. Can you quickly count and tell me how many tools are there? Let's see if all are attentive or not. I want you to quickly look at the toolbox, count and write in the chat box how many tools are there. How many tools can you see? This is my toolbox. 8. Okay, Rashmi ma'am. Very nice. Anju ma'am, Mansi ma'am. Great. So there are 8 tools. Now AI tools are pretty easy, right? Pretty easy to use. If you want to use Microsoft Word, there will be probably 50 buttons or 50 options. Even for Google Docs, slides, forms also had so many things. Sites also had so many things. But in Jamboard, there are just 8 things that you have to learn. So Jamboard, I think, is the easiest one, and also we can use it very creatively. So again, let me come back to white background. First thing that we have here is the pen. We have 4 types of pen. One is normal pen, marker, highlighter, and paintbrush. Pen is slightly thin. Next, you have marker, which is slightly thick. My favorite is highlighter because it's pretty clear and it gives a good handwriting. It has better grip. And paintbrush is basically for artists, I believe, or if you want to highlight something in a piece of text, you can highlight it like this. And you can also layer on top of it. The more you layer, the darker it gets. So you can see. So there are 4 types of pens and there are 6 inks. Black, blue, green, red, yellow, white. Next is eraser. Obviously we have a pen, so we need an eraser to erase these things, right? Or you can also, if you want to clear everything in a go, clear frame. Next is selector. This will help me move objects. So if I have pictures, it will help me move it. Next is sticky notes. Now, sticky notes is, I'm sure everybody must have used sticky notes in your normal classroom, right? Or in your staff room or in your cubicle. You must have used it. So, sticky notes is where you can give small notes. It can be either to yourself, to your colleagues, or to your students because it is a collaborative app that is multiple people can use the same file at the same time. You can have sticky notes. So, let's say, please correct your spellings. So this can be a feedback for from a teacher to a student, from a teacher to her fellow colleague, or from a school leader to a team member. So I can add a sticky notes here. I can duplicate this as well. So I can duplicate it. I can add it in multiple places. I can delete it. I can change its color. Okay. This is about sticky notes. Next thing is images. Now, how can you make anything engaging without images? It's probably very difficult, right? So they have given us an option of adding images as well. So you can add multiple images here. You can either upload it from your computer. So you'll just click on browse. Let's say I'll click on this, select it. It's going to be uploaded. I have an option to resize it as well. It will take 1 or 2 seconds based upon the speed. It will take some time. Okay. I have uploaded this from my computer. Now let's say you don't have images in your computer. You can do it directly from Google search as well. Click on image button, Google image search and search for images. So let's say I am having a team building activity. So I'll just type team. Click on this, click on enter. Choose any picture, insert. So it is going to be present. I can resize it. If I want, I can make it small. If I want, I can rotate it. So based on your system load, it might take, it might be slow or fast, but I have option to resize, rotate it, delete it, duplicate, whatever I want, I can do it. That's about playing with images. Another interesting thing. Okay, I don't have time or I'm not able to find pictures from Google image search. So I am trying to do from here, but I'm not able to find proper images. So you can also do one thing. This is very interesting. Do a Google search. So let's say team. Okay, I want to search images of teams and I'm not getting proper ones there. So let's say I like this. A very interesting thing is also it is time saving and effort saving. You can just drag and drop. It's directly going to come up and sit here. Okay, what did I do? One moment. My system is a bit slow, so yeah. So what I can do is I can drag and drop it here. What is going to happen is that image is directly going to come up here. Do you see how easy it is? I didn't I didn't download this image. I didn't save it on my computer. I didn't upload. I just dragged and dropped it here. So if you want to use any images in your Google Jamboard, you can do that as well. So let's say I want some more pictures. This one looks good. Okay. I will drag, drop. So these are the different ways in which you can add images in your Google Jamboard. Next is shapes. So to make flow charts, to make different shapes, or to add some text in it, you can also add shapes. The next tool is adding shapes. You have different shapes, almost 8 shapes, I think. You have 8 different shapes. So square, triangle, diamond. You can also fill it in different colors, red, green. And here, if I want to write something, I can write. So this can be used for illustrations or showing objects, or just for decoration purpose. The next thing is text box. As I told you, sometimes it's really difficult to write stuff using mouse pointer or a mouse pad, right? So you have text box option as well. So you just have to click on text box, click here, and you can either make it big, small, however you want. You can make it. Double click and write. So I can just write teamwork. I can change the ink color as well, alignment as well, and I can change its style as well. And as much as I drag it, it's going to become big. So if I drag it like this, it's going to become bigger. If I drag it inside or inwards, it's going to become smaller. You can drag out or drag. It's going to change its size. So you can see I can do this as well. I have put a square and inside I'm putting teamwork. So like this, you can make objects as well. The next thing is laser pointer. The final tool we have is a laser pointer. Now, many times we might be having a presentation. We want to write on it as well as show a pointer. So in that case, you can use Jamboard. So I can add a text piece here, and instead of me showing it on a presentation, I can also show it on a Jamboard. So this is the laser pointer that you can use. It doesn't scribble on it. It's just going to highlight that particular item, and it's going to again go back in 2 seconds. It vanishes in 2 seconds. So that's about laser pointer. So if I want my students, okay, focus on this picture and tell me what you can see. If I want to ask them, I can just do that. Instead of scribbling on it, I can just do it. So that's about laser pointer. I hope everybody is clear with these 8 tools. Can I ask some questions? Yes, can I? Okay, I want you all to raise your hand if you have understood these 8 tools. These 8 tools. Oh, great. Okay, okay. All right. So if I have to add an image, which button should I click? If I have to add an image, which button should I click? So that you can follow the order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So just type the number. If I have to add an image, which button should I click? Very good. Number 5. Okay. How many types of pens are there? Okay, you need not actually memorize this, but I want you to I just want to see if you're attentive and you're liking this workshop or not. How many types of pens are there? 4. Great. Okay. And okay. How did I get this blue box? What is this called as? This blue square that you see, what is this called as? In the chat box, please. Sticky notes. Wow, great. Sticky notes. Yes. Okay. All right. If I have to clear all of this in one go, which button should I click? If I have to, okay, I don't have time to select each and every image and click on delete and all of that. I want to clear everything in one go. What is the button that I should go? Clear frame. Very good. Yes. Great. So now if I leave you and I tell you use the Jamboard, will you be able to confidently use it in your class? Yes. Okay. So now let's get to a let's get to the point where how to share it and how to present it in a meeting. So this is the part. Now, once you create a Jamboard or once you have created an activity, now you should know how to share it with your students or with parents or with your fellow teachers. You should know it, right? So let's see how to do that. Okay, to share. Now what is meant by sharing? If you want to share this particular Jamboard and others have to write on it, that means you have to make them editors. See, if I want you all, so let me give an instruction here. Write your name. Okay, let me style it a bit as well. I'll add it on a blue. Now I will tell everybody to write your name in this. So you are able to see the jam, but are you able to write on it? No, right? You are not able to write on it. If I'm a teacher and I'm telling you, okay, children, this is my Jamboard. Now write your name. They are able to see it, but they are not able to access it, right? So you have to share it so that they can open it. So we have to click on the share button so that others will be able to access. So click on share. Okay. Here on the bottom, you can see get link. Click here. So who will be able to access it? I should make it as anyone with the link. Since I have 8 of you here in my meeting, I can't take each and everyone's email ID and add it on the top. Instead, I will create a link and share with you. Okay, I am going to do it. You'll understand it. Now, should you just view it? No, right? You will have to write as well. So I'll click on editor. So anyone with the link will be able to edit it. And I'll click on done. So share. Get link will be there on the bottom. Click on change and look at the rights here. Anyone with the link will be the editor. Copy the link. Done. Now this link can be pasted anywhere. Whoever is using laptop, they will be able to directly open it, and whoever is using tab or phone, they might not be able to open it, because for tab and phones you will require Jamboard app. So when somebody clicks on it, they'll be able to open it and write on it. So let's see if anybody is able to open it. So yes, I can see somebody is writing. So I can see 4 people have opened it. Let me start with myself. I will change the ink color, okay? Then it will be easy. I can see Rashmi ma'am is writing. So I am also right. Like this, multiple people can do it. So I can see 5 people are writing now. Yes, she's also added a sticky note. So also everybody is able to do what everyone is doing live. Yes. So I think now you got an idea on how to share it with your students. This will be helpful for group activities. Okay, this will help you to do group activities. Next thing. Okay. Next thing is, now let's say you have to just share it as a resource. Students should not be able to edit it. Okay, they should not be able to edit it. So what you have to do is change. Instead of editor, you will click as view. Now with this link, students will only be able to view it. They will not be able to change. Okay, Mansi ma'am has a doubt. Is there any option to duplicate the complete frame? If I want the same activity on 5 slides, is there any way? So I'm afraid that's not there, ma'am. I also tried. You can just copy paste the elements. I can just copy, Control C, go to the next one, Control V. So I don't see all the whole frame being copied. That option is not there, sadly. Yeah, for phone and tab, you have to download Jamboard app. Again, it's free and easy to use. All you have to do is download the app from App Store. It directly logs in with your Gmail ID. No sign-ups, all of that things. Okay. Next one is, okay. So we have seen how to share it if anybody wants to write on it or edit it. Now how to share it if I have to share it in the view mode, I'll just click on change. I'll keep it as viewer, copy link, and done. With this link, they'll only be able to see it. They'll only be able to see it. Okay. Now, next is an interesting thing. Okay, I have created a worksheet. So let's say I have created an activity. This is my worksheet. Mm, yes, in the fourth page, I have some questions. 5 plus 5. Okay, I'm just giving an example here. You'll have to make it neat and nice, but I'm just giving it as a worksheet. 6 plus 9. Okay. So I have taught my students addition. Now I want them to do this. Now this cannot be done as a group activity. This cannot be done in view mode. What to do? I have to share this as a worksheet. One option is if you're using Google Classroom, you can directly share it on Google Classroom. But if you're not using Google Classroom, now I want you all to look at the screen carefully. Okay, I have to share this as a worksheet. Now, what is a worksheet? We make one question paper, a paper which has space to fill in the blanks or some space to work out, and they will do their work and they will return it to us, right? So that's how worksheets work. Now, to make this into a worksheet, now I can't make a copy. If I have 30 students, I will not do make a copy 30 times, rename it and give it to them. That will be very hectic for me, right? Instead, I can help them to make a copy by themselves. So let me show you how it is done. So right now in the fourth frame, I have given them a worksheet. I will copy this link. Okay. Now remove this viewer. Can you see viewer question mark f equals to 3? Remove this, the last part, and instead write copy. Okay, instead write copy. What did I do? There was viewer question mark f equals to 3. You just remove this and write copy. Now, Control A, Control C. Copy this link and share with your students. Okay, can anybody try clicking on this? What will happen is when somebody clicks on it, they will be prompted. So the student himself or herself is making a Xerox for themselves. Okay, they themselves are fetching their own worksheet. They'll click on make a copy and ask them to just rename. This is basic thing, right? They just have to rename. Here, Reshma. And in my fourth page, I can write here. So 10, 15. You can see my original work is not being, where is it? My original sheet, that is my original worksheet, is not being affected. This is my own copy and I'm writing on it. Once that's done, I can just copy this link and share it with my ma'am. They can download the copy, but it will get downloaded as PDF. Instead, if you want them to work as a worksheet, or instead you want them to work it out in the Jamboard itself, you can just remove this viewer. So earlier it was viewer. You have to remove and write copy. That's all. Nothing. It's pretty easy. See, I have this viewer equals to f, or viewer f equals to 2, right? I just have to remove and write copy. So this link is the copy link. And now, yes, Rashmi ma'am has a very nice doubt. She's telling now, how will I share it with you? That is, how will students share it with you? For students, it's pretty easy. They'll just copy the URL, copy and paste it. That's all. Rashmi ma'am, can you share it with me? Just copy the URL and paste it here. Or if your students know your email ID, they can just click on share, enter the email ID. That's all. Enter the email ID, send. Anything will work. They can either click on this share button, enter the email ID of the teacher, but many students might make mistakes here. Instead, they can just Control C and Control V in the chat box. So I can see, if you all can see, Rashmi ma'am has shared hers. So she has just copied the URL and the URL from Google Chrome and shared here. And I will be able to see her work. Okay, I think it's in private mode, ma'am. You will have to, before that, you will have to make sure it is public. Before that, you have to make sure it's public. Anyone with the link. And done. Okay, you have to do this step before. Share. You can see anyone on the internet can view. You will have to bring this part. So this is only the slight, what I can say, this is the only slightly difficult part. Not even difficult, something new or something that you will have to think and do. But otherwise, all the tools here are pretty easy. Yes, now I think I can see it. Okay. So yes, she has written it here. So I can see Rashmi ma'am's photo also. Great. That is her display picture here. So that's how you share it with your students, and also they share it with you. Now that you have understood about Jamboard, how to share only that particular frame. That's not possible, ma'am. You cannot share a single frame. Instead, if you want, you can share it as an image, but the whole jam will be shared. Since a jam is a complete collection of frames, the whole jam will be shared. Single frame is not shared. You can instead download it as an image from from these more actions and then share it if you want. Okay, now is everybody clear with Jamboard? It will take a little bit of practice, but it's very easy and useful. How many of you find it slightly easier than the other tools? Right, the number of buttons are less. Everything depends upon your creativity. Great. Now I have few ideas for you. So I've taught you how to use Jamboard. That's fine. Anybody will do that. Now I'm also going to give you some activities. So some sample activities that I have created. Yes. So I'll be explaining how I am doing it for some of the activities, and then I'll be picking on you and you'll have to tell me how I got it. Okay. Now this is from TextGiraffe, which will help you create logos. I've created logos from a free website. So this is from there. This is a Bitmoji. So in the beginning, I was explaining about Bitmoji. You can create your avatars. So that's about Bitmoji. You just have to click on the Bitmoji extension. This is again a separate context, probably in another workshop or so I'll explain. So I can just click on any of this and use it. So I can just drag and drop and it will come up here. So that's how I got these two. And these I got it from Google. Okay, Google drag and drop, Google search drag and drop, smileys. Next, features we have tried. This is a sorting activity. Activity number 1, sorting activity. So what I have done is I have inserted some images. So these images I can directly find on Google, right? These are all simple images, clip arts. I will share it with my students by clicking on share anyone with the link and I'll share that link. They'll open or I'll click on this copy part. If it is this individual worksheet, I'll change it into copy and share it. Students will just have to drag and drop. Okay, this activity will get completed in 2 minutes because all they have to do is just drag and drop. I have taken the sticky notes and I've given a feedback. Good job. So I just clicked on a sticky note. I took a pink sticky note, wrote there. Next is for higher grade students. Okay, so sorting types of metals in periodic table. So I have alkali, alkaline earth metals, rare earth metals, transition metals. Here I have given the names, options in normal sticky notes. Students will have to categorize them. Now this can be used by many subjects, not just science. It can be used by maths like numbers, types of numbers, positive, negative, real, imaginary. These numbers are there, right? That. And in social, you can types of soil, for geography, types of lands and all of that. Next activity number 2 is story builders. Now this story builders is mainly for English language or any other languages as well. Here I've added a picture and some words. Okay, if I'm an English teacher, I'll ask them to write a story. Enter the story here. Students will just double click on it and enter their story. Now how can this activity be used by other subjects? So here you can give a picture, give the keywords and ask them to summarize that particular topic. So if I am talking about a computer, I will give a computer picture here I'll give some keywords and they will have to write what all they know about a computer. Okay. Next is reviewing. Now, this is something that you can do with Google Drawing or any other place like Canva. You can create something like this, a review sheet. And instead of you scribbling here that this is nice, that is nice, or correcting like this, you can actually write your review here. Pick out 2 lines you loved in the story and place them here. Students can write a review here, or you can share a story with them and they can do a story reviewing activity. I'm trying to cover multiple subjects here. So if you think that, okay, this is not relevant to me, you can take the idea and convert it for your subject. I hope that's fine. Okay, next is labeling. Here I've just given a computer, but you can use it for science, math, social, anything. For math, it could be like, what do we say, 3D shapes. They can identify vertices, faces, and all of that. Different things can be done. So here I've given sticky notes. Students will have to double click and write their answer. So they'll just double click and they'll write their answer. So you can see these are small activities. They are pretty engaging because it's colorful. There are pictures, the instructions are given. All they have to do is take out 2 minutes, give their answers, and later you can check their understanding. Next, the same way, map marking. Again, how did I get this India map? From Google. So I can just do India map transparent. So these are all transparent images that I'm using. India map transparent. I'll get multiple images here. Whichever one is transparent, take it. Make sure it's transparent. If not, you can go to tools, transparent. See if anything is, if you have a transparent image, and drag and drop. So you can do this. Drag, drop it. This map will come up. Like this, you can choose any country. For history teachers and literature teachers, you can choose anything. So to take 1 or 2 seconds, you can see this has come up. I've created this activity. Here I've given questions using text box. Okay. Now I'm going to ask some questions. Let's see if anybody can answer. Okay. Now, how did I write this activity 6? Which button did I use? Okay, here you can unmute. Okay, I will not be able to switch between screens. So how did I get this? How did I write this summarizing, write 5 points? Which button should I click to get text? Anybody?
Text box.
Text box. Very good. Okay, next, how did I get this red color square?
Shapes.
Shapes. Very good. Guys, you can unmute because switching is a bit difficult here because I'm sharing the whole screen. Next, okay. If the student has to write the answer, what should they do? By looking at this activity, what should they do? If they have to write the answer.
The frame needs to be shared with them that anybody can use the frame using the link.
Yes, it will have to be shared. Very good. Okay, next. So next activity is problem solving. So you can give a problem or an equation or anything and you can tell them to solve it. Like the one that I shared with you, they can do it. They can just take a pen, a light color one, they can solve it. Okay, next. All right. So here I want you to look at this carefully. Okay. I will explain the activity. So this is like an icebreaker. So for teachers um, who address their children or address their students on a regular basis, or if you have just come back from a vacation, you can just give them a small ice breaking activity. So let's say I have Julie, Anna, Carla, and Sarah in my class. So I can share this and I can ask them, how are you feeling today? They can drag and drop. So then I can talk, okay, Anna, what are you excited about? Do you want to share anything? Or Carla, why are you sad? So I can have a conversation. So conversation starter and an icebreaker. Now, questions. How did I get these faces? How did I get these faces? From where can I get it? Or how can I get these pictures?
images or drag and
From
drop
Google
from Google
browser.
Search?
Very good. You can
Dra-
either do
drag and drop.
images, drag. Yes, very good. All the answers are correct. You can either upload it from your computer if you have it, or do a Google image search, or directly drag and drop from Google Images. Correct. Yes, where is it? Next. How did I get this circle? I've asked this question, but still, let's
Shapes.
shapes. Very good. Okay. And these blue squares, what are these?
Sticky notes.
Sticky
Great.
notes.
Okay. So now I can know that most of you have understood everything and you will be confidently using Jamboard in your class. The next thing is letter tracing. As I told you, I think I've explained this activity already in the beginning. So you get these letter tracing pictures from Google. You can directly, again, drag and drop it or upload it. And you can show your children how to write. If you are from pre-primary or you deal with young learners, so you can tell them how this is written. And you can also give it as a homework because parents will also understand, or it will be like a help to them, and they can show them how to write. They can show how where to start from, that is one, step two, step three, so they can practice here in these lines with their fingers. Definitely motor skills and all of those will come with only notebook writing, but this is like an extra additional help. Next is plotting graphs. So you get blank graphs on Google. So you can just write graphs. Or plain graphs, whatever it is, you will get these grids. So you can see here, you can just drag and drop. Choose the one that you want based upon the scale. So you'll get different scales. So this looks basic. So if you want, you can just drag and drop. And here, what I've done is I've given them a graph activity. What is the location of the tree? So the answer is 3, 2. But earlier it was 3, 2, but here I've moved it. Earlier it was here. Now place the flower at 4, -4. So it was, if the flower is here, they'll take it and they're going to place it. So this way you can make graphs interesting as well. Next is showcasing note taking. Now, how did I get this picture? You can also search for 4-ruled paper or anything. Everything is anyways present on Google. You can just drag and drop it and you can showcase students how to write. So that's about the 10th activity. So yes, this brings us towards the end of the session. So we've seen, let me quickly revise what we've done in this session. We've seen what is a Jamboard, what is its purpose. Then we've seen how to access it. Next, we've seen all the features. Basically, we have explored all the buttons that are there. And then we've seen different activities that can be done. I've also asked some questions and most of you were enthusiastic and answered. Thanks for that. So any doubts? That's all about Jamboard. It's pretty simple but sweet and creative. You can be creative with it. So any doubts? I hope you liked this workshop. This was a short workshop compared to other 2 workshops because it is a small tool but can be used. Can we please get the link of the recording of this session and returned to them? Can we please get the link of this session as I missed the initial part? Okay, yes, Khushbu ma'am, this will be shared on the WhatsApp group. If you're on the WhatsApp group, you can find it. If not, I'll share the WhatsApp group link here in some time. Can the worksheets submitted by students be checked and returned to them? Yes. What you can do is once you get their link, you can edit in it, and they'll anyways be able to check it. Okay. Now you're on the group. Thank you. All right. Anju ma'am, what I mean to say is once the student is sharing it with you, you can correct it. So you can give ticks, you can give these, what do we say, feedback in the sticky notes, and then the students will be able to see what you have done. Got it. Okay, great. Reviewing activities done with the help of, this can be done with the help of Canva or Google Drawings. You can create pictures in Canva and Google Drawings. So yeah, again, those are 2 different tools. With the help of that, you can create it. Thank you, Khushbu ma'am. So yes, it also brings us towards the end of the workshop series of this week. So we had 3 workshops. I hope everybody is on the WhatsApp group. If not, please let me know in the chat box. Is everyone on the WhatsApp group? Because the next workshops will be updated there. All right. So also please enter your email ID here so that I can give away these certificates tomorrow or the day after. Thank you, Anju ma'am. Please enter your email IDs in the chat box before you leave. It was great spending time with fellow educators, and yes, I hope my aim for the workshop got. Um, I could, I could achieve my goal. Hopefully, I hope you learned something new. Thanks, Rashmi ma'am. All right, so I'll stop recording. And before you leave, kindly enter your email IDs